turned down for what? Wait a minute, guys. It's been a minute. I actually missed saying that. It's been close to 4 weeks almost. But welcome to the shoot around with myself, Britne Jones, alongside Jason Collins and Kevin Walker, right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. What's going on, Jay and K Walk?
All is well. All is well. Looking forward to a great one. Did miss that ayo for sure, Brett. So brings the life back, if you will. So good stuff. Good stuff.
I don't have much to say, Britt, except how about them Cowboys? NFL Takeover show. Oh. Let's go Cowboys.
Right out the gate.
You know what? I was trying to keep it cool. Now, it's all about that green. Fly Eagles, fly Eagles. Let's go. Cowboys, it's now the Cowgirls. So we're gonna stop that, okay? You got to win something, okay? You got to, and I'm a girl too, so I don't mean no harm to say girl, but you know what I mean, all right?
Man, she's coming at me early, K-Walk.
Right, man, right?
Okay, don't come at me with those Cowboys. But guys, like we know, and if you don't know, you know now. I know we're a basketball show, but it is officially the NFL takeover of the shoot around. Now, don't worry if there's breaking news when it comes to NBA, basketball, whatever. If we have a guest, when it comes to basketball, we will still let you know what's going on. We'll still talk about it. But in the meantime, while basketball is kind of slowing up a little bit, and it's preseason officially for the NFL, we're going to talk some football. But you guys ready to talk some football?
Indeed.
So if you don't know, the NFL preseason has officially started actually yesterday. I know the Hall of Fame game was last week, but it officially starts this week for all NFL teams. And we are only 26 days away from the start of the NFL regular season. I'm so ready for some football. This is an exciting time, guys. We got football, soon basketball will be coming up, and Red October and baseball. This is going to be some fun, but let's get started. All right, guys. So as you know, we got about a bunch of divisions that we have to get into. And the first one I would like to talk about is the NFC South. If you don't know out there, whoever's listening, whoever's watching, that consists of the Bucks, the Atlanta Falcons, the New Orleans Saints, and the Carolina Panthers. So for you guys, I just want to ask you guys, who do you think will win the NFC South this year? I know the Bucks won it last year, but who do you think will win this year? And Jay, since you want to talk about your Cowboys, I'm going to come to you first regarding this one.
Look, I'm gonna stay true to myself here and change what I said about a month ago. About a month ago, I think K Walk and I talked about this, and I told him that the Bucks were gonna win the division. I'm changing my mind. I'm all in on the Saints in the NFC South. I really think the Saints have the best defense in the conference. I think Jameis Winston is going to hit his stride. Hopefully he can stay healthy. I think they have the receivers. I just think they have a complete team. Now, I do think they're going to miss Sean Payton, so it might take them a little while to get adjusted to having a new coach and things like that. But I really think the Saints are going to win that division. And, if you've ever heard Eric Scott, the co-host of Sports Talk with K-Walk Talk, he says the Saints have the Bucks number. And I believe that. So I like the Saints to win the division.
Yeah, they definitely have the Saints. The Bucks number, because they beat them twice. Good, pretty decent wins last year. But what about you, K-Walk?
Yeah, I'm right along with Jay, man. I agree with Jay. I said it, when he was saying the Bucks, I was saying the Saints. And I just think that, even though they don't have Sean Payton, I still think if you look at this offense and some of the additions that they made there, and you get a healthy, somewhat healthy Jameis Winston back, and you get Michael Thomas back in the mix, and you also, bring in Jarvis Landry as well. He's back home in the Bayou, if you will. So he's got some weapons there. Then, of course, you got Alvin Kamara, AK-41. Not sure what he's going to be, how much time he's going to have because of the whole deal with his legal situation. But right now he is scheduled to play in the preseason and regular season. It may be one of those things where kind of like Ezekiel Elliott had his suspension. He was playing up until the point where they said, okay, well, you're going to get this amount of games. But that's something you got to watch for sure, because AK-41, as they call him down in New Orleans, he's a game changer. He's a game changer, out of the backfield, especially receiving and then getting through this, going through the tackles as well. And then Jay mentioned the defense, man. If you look at this defense led by Cam Jordan, that's a heck of a defense. And you got their their linebacker Pete Werner there as well. And look at this secondary, guys. This secondary is unbelievable. They got Marshawn Lattimore, they got Marcus May, they got from the Jets, a free safety there. They got Gardner Johnson, who they brought back, who's a pest for any receiver. Not only that, they brought in another LSU guy back. That's talking about Tyrann Mathieu, a.k.a. the Honey Badger. So those guys are going to be ball hawking. So I really like the Saints, and not to mention that they do have the Bucs number as well. So with all that factored in, I'm going with the Saints. I think it's a no-brainer, as far as this, barring any major injuries, of course, but I'm going with the Saints.
So I kept going back and forth on this one, guys. And I was just like, I'm going to go with the Saints. No, I'm going to go with the Bucs, because, it's so hard to go against Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady never lets you down, right? And then once you go against him, he's like, okay, bet, watch this. And he, what is he, 45 years old now? Like, that's crazy.
45, yep.
That's right. Crazy in the game of the NFL, in the game of football. Like, football is such a dangerous sport, very physical sport, and the fact that he's still 45 playing this game is ridiculous. So this is the reason why I keep going back and forth. The Saints defense is spectacular. They have some great offensive weapons. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas is coming back, Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry is in there. They have a decent offensive line. So the only question marks really is the head coach. What is the head coach? What is his strategy? What is his game plan? How is he going to use these great pieces? And then Jameson Winston. Can he be the Jameson Winston that we all thought he was going to be when he was going to enter in the NFL? If that happens, by far, the Saints is going to take this division. But then you go to the Bucs. Last year, they weren't the most healthiest team. A lot of their receivers were out, and they're getting a lot of those pieces back now. So with a healthy Mike Evans, I think it's Chris Godwin is over there now. You got Leonard Fournette still in the backfield. And for some reason, Tom Brady always has one of the best offensive lines. I don't know how the team does it time and time again. And that's why he's able to stay in the league so long. And then you have Tom Brady. It's hard to go against Tom Brady. But then on the defensive side, they still have Devin White. They have Vita Vea. They have Hakeem Hicks. And Todd Bowles is I know he's the head coach now, but he was a great defensive coordinator when he was a defensive coordinator. So I'm still torn, but I'm going to go out on a whim. And I actually don't want this team to do well because we have their first round pick, but I got to go with the Saints this year. And I know Tom Brady might be listening like, yo, really? Is this what you're going to do? But yes, TB12, I'm going to go with the New Orleans because that defense is crazy. But what about the Falcons and the Panthers, guys? Nobody has hope for any of these teams.
I think the Falcons, they're a project. That's going to be a project. Yeah. I don't think Marcus Mariota at quarterback. I just don't think they really have the weapons. They got a couple nice offensive pieces, but I feel like they're a ways away. I like what Matt Rule is doing in Carolina. I think he's a good coach. He's a Penn State guy, so I always root for him, but I don't think they're ready either. I really think it's a two-team race.
What about you, K-Walk?
Yeah, I have to agree with Jay. I mean, I think the Falcons right now, looking at them right now on TV, Mariota, came out, he looked good, but I don't think he can sustain it for, it's only preseason, of course, and I don't think he's the answer right there. He's a backup at best for them. Like Jay mentioned, they got a couple key pieces there. Kyle Pitts is probably, he's in the mix of talking about, one of the best offensive weapons in the league. But they just don't have anything more than that. And I just think that they're going to finish at the bottom of this respective division. I think Carolina has a little bit more, not too much more, but more than that they can finish third in this. But like you guys said, it's a two-team race for sure with the Saints, coming out on top and obviously in our opinions.
Yeah, I think with Atlanta, I love Kyle Pitts. Like, that was my guy coming out of Florida. I love Kyle Pitts. He's not just a tight end. He's just a weapon on the offensive side.
Yeah,
because
weapon.
you can line
Yeah.
up tight end, receiver, whatever you want to do with him. I'm just not sure about Marcus Mariota. He's not what we thought he would be coming out of Oregon. He probably should have went to the Eagles with Chip Kelly because I felt like that was the only coach that could really help him at the time. And I think they really want to see, he's a young guy, Desmond Ridder, who's right behind Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
He's a young guy. And they probably looking to eventually hoping that he'll take over that quarterback position within the next year or two. So, but like you said, they still got a lot of work to be done. And then as far as the Carolina Panthers, I like a lot of the players on there. I just don't think it's enough especially when it comes against the Saints and what they have on paper. And then of course the Bucks, not till Tom Brady decides he wants to officially retire, not just claim to retire and then come right back. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. But I was going to ask you guys, who do you think, which team has the best defense? But I kind of feel like we all in agreement with this. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to say on the Saints defense, if you think that's the team that has the best defense, who do you think is the best defensive player at this time? It could change later, but right now, K-Walk, I'm going to come to you first.
You said the best defensive player in the division? Is that what you referred to?
On the Saints.
Oh, the Saints. Okay, I'm sorry. I think that I think it's hard to go against Cam Jordan. I mean, I think he's the anchor of that offense. I mean, that defensive line. Excuse me. I just think that his ability to get to the quarterback, obviously, and he's been doing it for quite some time and doing it at a high level. I think you start with him and then you end on the back end with the Honey Badger and Marcus May. But I think by I don't want to say by far, but I think when you start with this defense, you start with the ability to get to the quarterback, and if you have the ability to do that, then it's going to make it easier for the guys on the back end. So with that being said, I'm gonna say Cam Jordan is that guy for them.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah, no, I think I agree with K Walk here. I do think they have a talented group of linebackers, but I think their defensive line is probably the strength of that defense. So if you're going to pick the defensive line as a group, I think you got to go with Cam Jordan. And K Walk alluded to this earlier. They have some talented guys playing on the back end as well. Yeah. But when it comes to defense, I'm still kind of in that old school mentality where it all starts up front. So I'm going to go Cam Jordan here in that defensive front.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement too. Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport, I think he's a huge piece to that defensive line. It starts in the trenches, the good teams, the better teams. And I'll throw my Eagles out there. The reason why we won the Super Bowl in 2017 because of that trenches. Nothing else. Yeah. It was because we were stacked in the trenches. And they're stacked on that defensive line. And this is going to be absolutely a scary defense, mainly for Tom Brady and the Bucks. So they better hope they stay healthy. I think the Bucks, didn't they lose a big piece in the offseason? I can't remember if they lost a big piece this offseason or not. I thought they did. Maybe that was last season.
I don't know.
But
was it JPP? Did they do JPP? I mean, it might have was just JPP. I'm not sure.
I can't remember. Sure. I thought it was an offensive line section. It could have been a year ago, guys. Yeah, I can't remember, but that sense is definitely going to be big time. But guys, we're going to head into our first break now. When we come back, we're going to get into the NFL edition of Buy Sell Topics as well as Keep or Trade. So this is going to be some fun. And if we have some time, I'm going to try to ask a question about the 90s player, but that's only if we have enough time, guys. But you guys are listening to the Shoot Around with myself, Britne Jones, alongside Jason Collins and Kevin Walker right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. Welcome back to the Shoot Around with myself, Britne Jones, alongside Jason Collins and Kevin Walker right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. All right, guys, I just got to mention it. I know we're a basketball show that's talking, it's the NFL Takeover, but I got some crazy news in the baseball world. I don't know if you, Jay and K Walk, just seen this, but Padres star Tatis is facing an 80-game suspension for a PED violation. Woo! Now that's going to put a dagger on that team, but let's see what happens with that.
Thank God for Juan Soto. Thank God for Juan Soto.
Yes, they got him in the nick of time. All right, guys, let's get back to the football talk, though. All right, so I want to get into the buy sell topics. I know we normally do this when we talk about basketball, but let's switch it over and let's do the football edition. All right, so the first one, okay, let me explain how it works though. I know we've done this 1,000 times, but for anybody who's new to our show, buy sell is I'll say a statement, and Jay and K Walk will tell me, as well as myself, will tell me whether they buy the statement or they're going to sell it, meaning the sell is that's not going to happen at all. The buy it's a possibility that could happen. All right. So the first one is Tom Brady will throw at the age of 45. Tom Brady will throw for over 5,000 yards this coming season. K-Walk, I'm going to come to you first. Do you buy this topic or do you sell it?
Ooh. Oh, man. This is a good one, Britt. 45. I'm gonna sell this, Brett. I don't think he's gonna get 5,000. Now I can't see him getting 5,000. That's a lot. With that, I know he's got a lot of weapons there. With Evans, with Godwin, with his tight ends, Brate and Howard. And I can't forget who they just brought in for a 1-year deal. I can't recall who that was. But
Julio.
Julio Jones, yeah. So even with Julio. Nah, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. No, Brady's the man, but I think, I'm going to sell it. I'm selling it. I can't buy that.
Know what, Jay, before I come to you, I'm going to buy it. I know it's crazy. Wow, okay. It's out there. Wow. At 5,000 yards is a lot of yards, but I just don't see them when it comes to Tom Brady, people really don't run the ball that much. And I know he's the age 45 and he just did it last year, guys. He just did it last year with most of his receivers hurt. So I don't see why he can't do it this year. Again, it's hard to go against TB12. And this may be wishful thinking. I don't know. But for some reason, I believe in that TB12. After all those years of doubting him, I now believe in the TB12 at the age of 45. So I'm buying the heck out of it. Jay, what you say?
Britt, listen, I'm selling it, and I'm selling it at a discount. I mean, I am selling this thing as much as I possibly can. K-Walk goes because we kind of talked about Brady last week. I'm going on record. He's going to fall off a cliff this year. He's been great. I mean, nothing but respect. Best QB to ever do it. But at some point, he has got to fall off a cliff, and this is the year it's going to happen. Tom Brady is not going to throw for 5,000 yards. I think he's going to have a tough year, and then he's going to retire when the season's over.
Hey, Brett, remember who Tampa Bay plays first game of the season? Just keep in mind why Jay picked that, because it's for first game of the season. Just think about that.
Yeah. Do they play in the first game of the season this year too? Do you know?
Yeah, they played the first game of the season this year. Yes.
Oh, 2 straight years in a row. Whoa, nice. Nice. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely buying it now. I'm absolutely buying it now. I'm definitely buying it. The Cowboys playing the first game? Oh, yeah. All right, guys, let's go to the next one. But you know what, though? It's like I want to sell it, but every time I try to sell something with Tom Brady,
it's hard to go against me.
Wrong. So I'm going to buy it, and maybe he'll prove me wrong once again. But all right, the second one. The Los Angeles Rams, I'm going to say St. Louis, the Los Angeles Rams will repeat as the Super Bowl champs. Jay, I'm going to come to you first. Do you buy that or do you sell it?
I got to sell that one too. I have to sell that one too. Number one, I just think it's really hard to repeat. Number two, I feel like they got a little bit, not taking anything away from them. They earned their Super Bowl, but I think they got a little bit lucky. Some things broke their way in order to win that Super Bowl. I think they're going to be a good team, but I don't think there's any way they're going to repeat again.
What about you, K-Walk?
I'm just going to simply say, hey, listen. No, absolutely not. I'm selling this because of my team is in that division. Mm-hmm. My team is hungry. Like Jay mentioned, they got a little lucky last season. I know sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but just all seriousness. I just don't, like Jay said, it's hard to repeat, especially when you got a division such as the NFC West, not just talking about my 49ers, but you got the Cardinals there as well. Not sure what you're going to get quarterback play with the Seahawks, but it's still a competitive division nonetheless. And then we talked about the Buccaneers, and we talked about the Cowboys as well. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for them to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to take away from them. They brought a lot of pieces back. They want to run it back. That's their mission goal this year, is to run it back. But I just don't think it's going to be enough, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna sell that.
Yeah, I think for this one, guys, I'm in agreement. We're gonna make this unanimous. I'm selling it. I do think they got a little lucky last year. And then I think the NFC this year is so wide open, a lot more wide open than what people really think. Yeah. And if anything, you probably should look over to the AFC to see who might win the Super Bowl, because especially that AFC, is it the West, I believe. I think it's the West. That's stacked.
Yes.
Yep. That division is stacked. So I'm going to sell it. And like you guys said, it's real hard to repeat as champs. I don't remember the last time we had a repeat champion. It's been a while. All right, guys. The last one is Derrick Henry. And I had to lower this number a little bit, but running back Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans will rush for over 1,700 yards. Do you buy that topic, or do you sell it? K-Walk, I'm going to come to you first.
1,700 yards for Derrick Henry. You know what? That's a realistic number. So I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it. I think he can do that. I think he can do it. That's what, 100 yards a game on average. So yeah, I'm the more I think about it, the more I'm going to say I buy it. I think he can do it. If anyone could do it, he can do it, because of his running style and the way he can, gain yards after the contact, especially with that hellacious stiff arm that he has as well. So yeah, I talked myself into it. So I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it.
What about you, Jay?
Man, I was all set to sell this one too, but then K-Walk made some good points. And, it's 100 yards a game, but he's going to get the attempts. It's not like he's going to share the duty. They're going to give him the ball as much as they possibly can. The type of offense that they run, he's going to get his carries. And he has that big playability. He'll pound you for 5, 7, 8, and then he'll break one for 50 or 60. So I could see it happening. So I will reluctantly buy this one.
I swear, Jay will never go to jail, man. I swear. I don't know, Jay. You just when you put a spin on stuff, man. It's like, it's hard to go against him and hard to go for him. Like, it's funny, man.
I think for me, I'm gonna buy it. And the reason why I'm gonna buy it is because he is the weapon of the offense right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got a lot of young, good talent over there. I know Ryan Tannehill's still the quarterback. How much do they really trust his arm? And Derrick Henry always bails out Ryan Tannehill. They got rid of A.J. Brown. They traded him to the Philadelphia Eagles. So I just think, and if you've seen in the years past, all they had was Derrick Henry. Everybody knew he was going to run it, and he still got the yardage he needed to get. So as long as he stays healthy, I'm buying it. He has to stay healthy, though. If he does not stay healthy, then of course we're going to have to sell it. But right now, I'm going to buy it because he's going into this year healthy. All right, we're going to move on to our next segment, and it's called Keep or Trade. Again, for anyone who's new to our show, I always give 2 players from the same team. And I ask you, which one are you going to keep and which one are you going to trade? So this one might be a little bit tough because some of these players could be very, very important. All right, guys. The first one I'm going to start with, and it's a team we just spoke about. It's the New Orleans Saints. So who are you going to keep? Who are you going to trade? The options are a healthy Michael Thomas, or a healthy and non-suspended running back Alvin Kamara. Who you going to keep? Who you going to trade? Jay, I'm coming to you first.
You know what? This one's a little easy for me. I've never been a huge Michael Thomas fan. I know he's a good receiver. He's a possession receiver. He's going to catch 115 balls a year, but he doesn't really excite me. He doesn't really move the meter for me. Kamara's different. Like, that guy is absolutely phenomenal. He can run between the tackles. He can catch the ball outside the backfield. He's got big play potential. I think the Saints need him more, so I would definitely keep Kamara, and I would let Michael Thomas go in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think for me, I like Michael Thomas, but like you said, he's not really that big play guy. He's more of that, to me, the safe receiver. He's going to be there when you need him. He's going to get open when you need him, but he's not the most explosive. He has good route running abilities. But it's just something about Alvin Kamara. He always opens up everything for this offense, and every year if he's on that field, they could be one of the most dangerous teams with the added pieces surrounding him. But I'm going to keep Alvin Kamara. I'm going to trade Michael Thomas. K-Walk, coming to you. What do you say?
I think we're going to see a different Michael Thomas this year, a healthy Michael Thomas. If he's healthy, I think that we saw a lot of him running those intermediate routes, like the slants and those stop routes, things of that nature. Because I just think that Drew Brees just didn't have the arm strength to get the ball downfield. I think that if you look at Jameis Winston, he's one of those guys who can get the ball downfield. So a healthy Michael Thomas, we're going to see a different Michael Thomas. We're going to see a more explosive Michael Thomas. He's not injured. I mean, he's got 2 years, about a year and a half, 2 years, off. His body's ready to go. But even though I say all that, I'm still going to go with Alvin Kamara. He's a dual threat. As you guys mentioned, he's outstanding out of the backfield. He's one of the best to do it. He can run through the tackles, run between tackles, and again he can get out of the backfield and he can create a matchup. Either with a strong safety or a linebacker as well. So I'm going to keep Alvin Kamara and I'm going to trade Michael Thomas. But I think we're going to see a different Michael Thomas for sure now this year.
I mean, I guess we'll see, because I know they got Chris Olave now. I don't know if I said that right. Out of Ohio State. I know he could do some deep routes for him. But it's definitely going to be interesting with this new head coach. But the next one, this one's just for you, Jay. So we're going to go to the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. We got Dak Prescott or Micah Parsons. So we got the quarterback on the offense and the quarterback of the defense. Who you going to keep? Who you going to trade? Jay, I'm going to come to you last. K-Walk, who you got?
Thank you. I need some time on this one.
Facts, man. Can we take a commercial break right here? Wow, that's a good one, man. Britt, I'm sorry. Dak is the head of the snake, man. So without him, they're not going to go. Micah is a different animal. I like the way that Dan Quinn uses him on the defensive side of the ball. But for the sake of the segment, I'm going to say I'm going to keep Dak because Dak, like I stated, Dak is the head of the snake. They need him. They're without some of their receivers that they had last year, and Cooper and Cedric Wilson. They're going to be without. They're going to be without Gallup and Washington as well. So they're going to need him. So I'm going to say he's probably the most valuable guy on this team. So I'm going to keep Dak and I'm going to trade Micah. It's only for the sake of the segment, ladies and gentlemen, because it's hard to say trade Micah Parsons for sure.
For me, this is tough because you need a quarterback. Your team don't really run without a decent quarterback. But for me, I gotta keep the quarterback of the defense, Michael Parsons. Did we not see what he did last season? And he was only a rookie. And the way they were utilizing him in the coverage game, the pass rushing abilities, hitting people hard. He is that's a talent of the lifetime. And what turned my decision to Michael Parsons was Dak Prescott's decision last year in that playoff game at the last second. His decision making was just ridiculous, and we have seen that time and time again with Dak Prescott. So if Dak Prescott doesn't get it right this year, I don't think he'll be with the Dallas Cowboys too much longer. But Jay, so wait a minute. So I'm going to keep Michael Parsons. I'm going to trade Dak Prescott. But Jay, I'm coming to you. Who you got, Mr. Allegiance to your Cowboys this year? Until next year, until mid-season.
First of all, Britt, why are you bringing up old stuff? Why are you going back to last year's playoff? We're moving forward, Britt. Don't keep bringing up that old stuff.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Oh, you got me?
You're good. You're good now. You're good now.
Okay.
Good.
No, I don't know if you guys heard me. I was asking Britt why she's bringing up old stuff, talking about the playoffs last year. Let's just move forward.
What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? That's what he done.
K-Walk, man, I agree with everything you said about Dak, right? And you need a quarterback. It's hard to win in the league without one, but I'm going with Britt here. I gotta keep Parsons. And the only reason why, K-Walk, is because when I look at those two players, I feel like you can find another Dak Prescott out there. I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's in anybody's elite category. I think you can find another good QB. Micah Parsons, man, these are once in a decade type defensive players. Rookie of the year last year, in the running for defensive player of the year. I mean, I think this guy's going to terrorize the league for the next decade. So I don't think that's something you want to give up. So I got to keep Parsons. I got to trade Dak.
Guys are braver than I am. I tell you that much. You're braver than I am. That's for sure.
All right, guys, one more, and then we got to head to our next break. And in this one, K-Walk, I did this for you. I had to throw this in there. Next time I'll throw my team in there, but we're going to go to the 49ers now, the San Francisco 49ers. And we got who you going to keep, who you going to trade. We got the one and only Nick Bosa and the one and only newly got paid, guys, Mr. Deebo Samuel. Who you going to keep, who you going to trade? K-Walk, I'm going to come to you last. Jay, who you got? K-Walk looking like this is easy.
I'm gonna use one of K-Walk's lines and say I gotta stay consistent. So I'm gonna keep Nick Bosa. I just made the case for Micah Parsons on the last question. You could almost say all those same things about Bosa. So look, I think Deebo is a really good player. He obviously does a ton for that offense, but Nick Bosa is the anchor of that defensive line. So for me, I'm going defense. I'm keeping Bosa. I'm gonna trade Deebo.
Wow, you traded Deebo? You know Deebo? Deebo Samuels? You realize it's basically all they had last year, right? On that offense. He was the offense last year.
Stop.
He was the offense. No, but seriously, no. I love Deebo too. Like, I love Deebo. I love the fact that you can line him up anywhere on that offense, receiver, running back, and he has the mindset to, hey, I just want to win. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win this game, and he has shown that time and time again, and he's well deserving of the contract that he did receive. But I'm in agreement with with Jay on this one. I was reading Nick Bosa's name, that's why I said that. But I'm in agreement with Jay on this one. I got to keep the Bosa. Got to keep the Bosa brother. It's hard to go against any of the Bosa brothers or the Watt brothers. Nick Bosa, he is the dominance of that defense. He is the engine of their defense. So I'm keeping Nick Bosa. I'm a trade, although it hurts, Deebo Samuel. K-Walk, who you got? This your team.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, Deebo, a lot of people said Deebo was the only guy that we got. I can't stand when people say that. Yeah, he was a big part of what Kyle Shanahan and that 49ers offense did. But to say that he was the only guy that did anything, it ruffles my feathers a lot. He did something. He did something. I don't know. Some receivers did not do in the history of the game by, scoring 8 rushing touchdowns, rushing over, as many yards as he did. He did something that the great Jerry Rice didn't do. You put him in the backfield, you could put him in a slot, you could put him outside and send him deep as well. He's a matchup problem for a lot of teams. With all that being said, I'm going to trade Deebo and I'm going to take Nick Bosa because Nick Bosa is a force, man. He's a force. So I'm going to trade Deebo. I know I bigged him up, but I'm going to trade Deebo and I'm going to keep Nick Bosa for everything you guys said. He's a force. He's a difference maker. He's a problem, a matchup problem. There's not a lot of tight ends or tackles that can contain him, if you will. And he can do a lot of things. He causes havoc. So, and he's about to get paid next year too. So with that being said, I'm going to keep Nick Bosa and I'm going to trade Deebo, as hard as it for me to say that.
All right. Hey guys, if you listening, if you watching, make sure you heard what K-Walk says. Don't give all the credit to Deebo Samuel.
Because we got Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is going to have a breakout
Brandon Ayuk on that team, and they got a talented young running back. Oh, and they got a young and upcoming quarterback in Trey Lance. Don't you give all the credit to Debo now. I'm just kidding though.
Don't do it. No, don't do it. Don't do
Don't
it.
you do that.
Don't play.
Don't you do it.
That's serious though.
All right, guys. So we're going to head into our next break. And then Jay, for some reason, wants to keep talking about this Eagles and Cowboys and the NFC East. So when we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to get into it. And I feel like this is going to be really fun and interesting. But you guys are listening to the Shoot Around with myself, Britne Jones, alongside Jason Collins and Kevin Walker right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the Shoot Around with Britne Jones, Kevin Walker, and Jason Collins right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. All right, guys, that was a great first half hour, but now I want to talk about the NFC East. That is the home of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
You're breaking up again, man. You're breaking up again.
Breaking up again?
No, I'm when you said Cowboys, when you said the Cowboys, I just say I was messing with you.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm allergic to crap. I'm sorry. I'm allergic to crap. All right, continue on. Had to clear my throat.
You see this, K-Walk. You say America's team, and there we go.
That is preseason. It's only preseason.
I was going to show some love to the other teams, K-Walk. I was going to say the Washington Commanders, formerly the Redskins, a great history, the New York Football Giants, Bill Parcells, Lawrence Taylor, and then that team that plays in Philly. All right, let's
hold. Let me wait a minute before you start, Jay, because don't act like. First of all, you don't have a real team. That's number one. And your childhood team, if I can recall, you said was the Eagles. So there you go. You trying to knock because you was an Eagles fans. Now you want to be bandwagon across the whole daggone nation.
Okay, Britt, you're right. Look, I was an Eagles fan. We grew up in South Jersey, used to root for the Eagles every week. But hey, I'm a Cowboy now. And but let's get into it. Let's talk about this division. Let's break it down. Who's got the best quarterback in the division? And not just Cowboys, Eagles, but the whole division. I know sometimes it's hard not to just focus on the Cowboys and the Eagles, but in the entire division, K-Walk, who's got the best quarterback?
You know what, Jay? When you look at this division from top to bottom, I mean, you look at you got Carson Wentz, you got Daniel Jones, you got Jalen Hurts, and then you got Dak Prescott. I think when you look at this team, I mean, you look at this division, I think that right now Jalen Hurts is this is his season to prove if he's going to be legitimate, because there's no excuses as far as weapons. He has a ton of weapons around him. I mean, you're talking about Goddard there at the tight end spot, Devontae Smith, you got AJ Brown, you got that running game. I mean, I just think right now it's Jalen Hurts' division to win or lose, I should say. But with all that being said, I'm still going to put my money on Dak as being the best quarterback right now, as far as being the best quarterback in this particular division. The other guys, Daniel Jones, we've seen his resume. Carson Wentz is one on his third, fourth team, whatever the case may be. So I'm not going to think about putting him in the conversation of being the best in this division. So I'm going to say Dak Prescott right now is the best in this division for sure.
All right, one for the Cowboys. Britt, who's the best quarterback in the division?
The best quarterback in the division? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think right now, because everybody is so young, Dak Prescott. No shame in my game in saying it, but it's Dak Prescott. Unless we've seen a Carson Wentz from 2017, and that's so long ago, and I don't think that quarterback will ever come back. If that so miraculously happened, then absolutely he'll be the best in the division, but I don't think that's going to happen. So Dak Prescott, he's the more experienced quarterback. Yeah, his decision making is not the best at times. But when you're looking at the other quarterbacks in our divisions, like Daniel Jones, absolutely not. I think he tends to struggle, and that could be because of the offensive line they have there. They don't have as much weapons as a lot of the other teams do. Again, going back to Carson Wentz, is something's not clicking with him. People try to tell him one thing and he just believes something completely different. He's going to have to get out of that stage. And as far as Jalen Hurts, he's still growing. This is only his second year being the starter, his third year in the league. So he still has a lot of growing to do, but this is his prove-it year. I think Dak Prescott, he just has, over the years, he always had the more weapons. This year might be a little different, but he still has CeeDee Lamb over there. He still has Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard in the backfield. It's going to be interesting with this offensive line because I know it's a lot of questions at the offensive line, but I think right now at this moment, Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the division.
All right, so we're unanimous. I 100% agree with everything you guys said. I think Dak is clearly the best quarterback in the division. Let's move on to the receivers. K-Walk, who's got the best receiver in the division?
When you guys presented this to me last night, I'm sitting there, so I'm like, wow, this is a really good question because you got CeeDee Lamb in there, you got McLaurin. He just signed that extension with the Commanders. I don't have anyone really from the Giants right now. Galladay signed that huge contract a contract with the Giants. I watched him last night. He dropped it crucial. They dropped a touchdown pass right there at the 1 yard line. And then you look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They arguably can go 1-2 here as far as the best and the second best in the division. And I'm going to go with AJ. I'm going to say the Philadelphia Eagles have the best receivers here, man. I mean, you can go AJ Brown or you can go Devontae Smith. Either one. If you pick one or the other, I wouldn't be mad at you. But I'm going to take AJ Brown because he's a little bit more seasoned than Devontae. Devontae Smith is an outstanding route runner, young kid. I know they talk about his weight or lack thereof, but still an outstanding receiver nonetheless. So I'm going to say the Philadelphia Eagles have the best receiver, and I'm going to give it to AJ Brown.
Man, I wanted to be a homer here and go CeeDee Lamb. I really did. But I think you're right, K-Walk. I think A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, I think the combination of those two guys, and you're right, you could make the argument for 1 and 2. So I think I got to be fair and pick the Eagles here. Britt, are we unanimous or you going a different way?
Jay, it seemed like that was the most hardest thing for you to say. I could tell. Like, for those who's watching this on YouTube, it just looked like it hurt for him to say it. And I'm trying to figure out how in the world you get so much hate in your heart for your hometown team, the Eagles. This is interesting. But for me, I think there's 3 top receivers in this division. And unfortunately, 4, but really 3. 2 are from the Eagles, 1 is from the Cowboys, and that's AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith. But I think the best receiver, you got to give it to the more experienced guy, AJ Brown. The things that he showed when he was with the Tennessee Titans, the things that I've been watching while he's at camp, the catches that he's been making. This guy is big. He's a big guy, big, strong. He catches that ball and turns into a running back real fast. And then, like you guys said, Devontae Smith is, to me, him and CeeDee Lamb is tied in the running because both of them have great route running abilities. Both are explosive. I know Devontae Smith, a lot of concerns, like K-Walk said, with his size, but he showed last year he seems like he knows how to get tackled as a receiver, which is weird, but he knows how to protect his body and make sure his body is safe and good to go. And CeeDee Lamb is up and rising. This is CeeDee Lamb year to prove himself. It's his receiving he's the captain of the receiving room now, so this is his time to show up. But I have to choose AJ Brown.
Okay, cool. So we're all right there on that one. Let's go to the running backs. K-Walk, what do you think, man? There's some good backs in this division, actually. Yeah. But who's the best one, K-Walk?
Best one. Okay, so this is where I was kind of on the fence with this one because I wanted to call Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott one running back because they're going to show they're going to share a lot of time. They're going to it's going to be 50-50. But Ezekiel Elliott is the starter, so I'll put him in the mix. And then you have who's your guy over there? Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders.
Miles, Penn State guy. I love his game, man. I love his game there. I'm going to give it if he can stay healthy. I'm going to give it to Saquon Barkley. Okay. I just think I'm not saying he's doing the best team behind the best line, but I just think overall he's the best running back in this division. Not by far, so don't get me wrong. But if he can stay healthy, which is obviously been an issue for him for his little bit of his career. But I'm going to say Saquon, man. He looked good last night for sure. So yeah, I'll give it to Saquon slightly over Ezekiel Elliott and Miles
Okay,
Sanders.
well, yeah, that's definitely can't say anything about picking Saquon because I do think he's probably the most talented back. But I'm going to go a different way here, and
Okay.
Britt can't say anything to me about this after what I say. I'm going with Miles Sanders, man. I really am, because I think he's underrated. Watching him follow Saquon at Penn State, there were a lot of people that were wondering if he was going to be a better back than Saquon. And I think he has a chance to, just because Barkley can never stay on the field. Sanders is underrated. He's a really good player, can run in between the tackles, catches the ball well out of the backfield, makes people miss in open space. I don't know that he's played behind some of the better offensive lines. I think if you put a really good line in front of him, I think he can do a lot of great things. So I'm going with Miles Sanders here. Britt, what say you?
I don't have a problem with what you said, but I will say the Eagles have had the top offensive line for like the last 5 years. So don't knock our offensive line. Come on, we got Jason Kelce. Now we got Jordan Mulatto on that left side. Lane Johnson on that right side, Lander Dickinson. Like we're probably going to be top 2, top 3 offensive line this year alone. Look at our stats from last, so don't knock my offensive line. But I do appreciate you saying Miles Sanders, so thank you. So I can't get too carried away
this year with that great line.
Can't do. So my bad, Jay. But you know, I love Miles Sanders. I agree with everything that Jay says, but I got to go with the most talented back, and that's Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley was a monster, but that's, again, and I'm in agreement, only if he could stay healthy. He has had some serious health issues. If he could stay healthy, he's the best back, one of the best backs in the NFL, not just in our division, but he got to stay healthy. Yeah. And I know the Giants utilize him for everything, because for a long time they didn't have anybody else, and I'm not sure if they still do, but he got to stay healthy.
Sure.
All right, Britt, I'm gonna stay with you on this one. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. We talked a lot about Micah Parsons earlier today, but is he the best defender in the division? Britt, who do you have as your best defensive player in the NFC East?
This is hard because look, you know, Cowboys, Micah Parsons. Eagles have Darius Slay, you know, to me, the best corner in the NFC East. They also have Fletcher Cox, although he's not, you know, he's trying to get back to where he was. Then you got Chase Young with the Commanders. You know, people forget about Chase Young. He was hurt last year.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure who the Giants have. They got a lot of work to do, but I'm pretty sure they got somebody over there. Can I go with a Mike? Can I go with a Micah Darius Slay Young combination?
No.
I couldn't do a Pollard. I couldn't do a Pollard Elliott. I couldn't do a Tony Elliott. I can't. Ezekiel Pollard.
Okay, I can't blend them together. All right. Oh, this is hard. You know what? I'm going with your Penn State guy. You know, I don't like the Cowboys, but I love this guy, Micah Parsons. I got to go with Micah Parsons. I know Chase Young is right up there with him, but he has to stay healthy. His first year, very explosive. Second year, he didn't really play. I think this would be his year to really regain that form again. Maybe even possibly be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. But what Micah Parsons showed last year in his rookie year is still blowing my mind into pieces. You know, that kid is incredible. Now, how will he play this year when everybody knows what he's capable of doing? Can he keep that form? I hope so, because, you know, I've been a fan of his since college, although I want the Cowboys to lose. Let's be mindful of that. But I'm still go with Michael Parsons on this one.
All right. I'm with you, Britt. K-Walk, come on, man. Make it unanimous.
Yeah, man. I mean, you look at Darius Slay, man. I mean, it's hard to go against that guy. I mean, his cover ability, man, just just outstanding, man. I mean, obviously the best in that division. Diggs has a strong argument, but I just think Diggs is he's just a gambler. He gambles too much, and sometimes he wins more than he loses, but it can cost him at the wrong times.
Slightly overrated.
Chase Young, you guys have Chase Young. You mentioned Chase Young. He's coming off of that knee injury, but I still expect him to get back to where he was at before that injury happened. And that's a game changer, man. He really can cause havoc and put a lot of pressure on the offense, on the quarterback. But Micah Parsons can do the same thing, and not only Micah Parsons can do that, he can run sideline to sideline with the best of them, and he can also cover if you put him in the right situation.
Coverage.
With all that being said, I'm gonna go Micah Parsons. I think it's gonna go Micah Parsons. I'll put Slay second, and I'll put Chase Young third here, but I'm gonna go with Micah Parsons to make it unanimous for sure.
All right, good stuff there. All right, guys, we broke down the positions. Now tell me who's going to win the division. Keep in mind, okay, Walk, I'm gonna start with you, man. Keep in mind, you got the Cowboys going 13-4.
Right.
So if you don't pick them to win the division, that means you got somebody going better than that. So K-Walk, who wins the NFC East when it's all said and done?
Don't do that, Jay. Wait a minute. Don't do that, Jay. Don't do that. You trying to convince K-Walk to pick the Cowboys. Play fair.
He knows I'm
Play fair.
He knows that I'm consistent, though. I like to stay consistent.
Right.
So he's definitely working that. He's definitely working that part, though, for sure. That's why I say, Jay, you missed your calling as an attorney, man. You can get everybody off at any time, but or prosecute them at any time. But with that being said, I'm gonna. You know what? I did say that the Cowboys were going to go 13-4. I did say that. I'm on record saying that. I'm on air saying that. I'm on YouTube saying that. I did not go through the Eagles. So to be fair, Jay, I did not go through the Eagles season. I did not give them a record. So with that being said, I'm picking the Eagles to win the NFC East. I am. I think it's going to come down to head-to-head and what happens between those two in those games, man. I just don't think that the Cowboys have enough offense, man. I just don't think they have the receivers to get Dak. I mean, to have Dak make a huge impact. And then you got the two-headed monster. I don't know what you're going to get with Ezekiel Elliott, man. That offense is not impressive to me right now, Jay. So right now, I can't give it. I gotta give it to the Eagles because I believe in Jalen Hurts, and I believe Jalen Hurts will step up with all that talent around him. Dak is a better quarterback right now, but he does not have the weapons that Jalen Hurts does. And we talked about their defense. We talked about their running game. Britt bigged up their offensive line. So with all that being said, I got to take the Eagles winning the East this year. Sorry, Jay.
Wow.
Sorry, Cowboys fans.
Wow, K-Walk.
No, you ain't gotta apologize, K-Walk. You ain't gotta apologize. We don't apologize to any Cowboys fans around here.
All right, Britt.
You're right.
Who's gonna win the NFC East?
The Giants. No, yeah, right. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, right. No, well, we definitely know it's not the Giants. I don't want to say we definitely know it's not the Commanders because they have improved, but I don't think they're up there just yet with the Cowboys or the Eagles, but they're improving. Again, it depends on Carson Wentz and whether he wants to play right or not, because they have a lot of other good pieces in place. I like their receiving core now. They probably still have to improve on the defensive line a lot more, but their defense is actually pretty good, especially the defensive line. But it's always going to be between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Seems like it's been like that for the last so many years, but the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, like I said, best quarterback in the division right now. They have some good pieces. And CeeDee Lamb, my only thing is Michael Gallup is out for a little bit. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but I think he's definitely going to miss at least the first couple games. And then they lost James Washington, I do believe is his name, the other receiver. So who is going to be that other receiver? They just lost some good pieces on that offensive line. I know I keep going back to the offensive line because if you look at the years past, the Cowboys has always had a top 5 offensive line. They always have, and they lost some quality, good starters off the offensive line. So that's a big question mark. Who's going to fill in and can they do a decent job? I know they got a lot of young players, but now you're going against some stout defensive lines in this NFC East. So I'm not sure. The defensive side of the ball, we got Micah Parsons. We already know what he's going to do. But what about DeMarcus Lawrence? Can he gain form or gain what he used to or play how he used to play. You know, last year he struggled a little bit, and then he tends to get hurt sometimes. Trayvon Diggs, I like Trayvon Diggs, don't get me wrong. I just think he's a little overrated as a cornerback. He's just a little too aggressive. He's going to have to, because he gets dusted a lot. He gets burnt. But 11 interceptions, that's showing a lot. That's showing he does have some skill set. I think for me right now, I got to go with the Eagles, not just because I'm a fan, but because if you look at every part of their team, offense, defense. No,
I'm laughing at Jay.
They have everything. It's just we're not sure about the quarterback position, which is a very important position. You know, the Cowboys have that locked up. They know who their quarterback is.
Right.
We're not sure what Jalen Hurts will give us. So if Jalen Hurts can do well, no doubt. To me, the Eagles are the best in the division. But we'll see. And then special teams, the Eagles have to improve on that special teams.
It's a good argument, Britt. It really is. It's a good argument. I hope you guys can hear me. I know my mic is acting up. I hope you guys can hear
good.
me.
You're good. We could.
Good argument, Britt. I can't say much against it. The only thing I'm going to say, and the reason why I'm going with the Cowboys, is you and K Walk said that you believed in Jalen Hurts. I'm not there yet. I'm not there with Jalen Hurts. I don't believe in Jalen Hurts. I think he's got a lot of growing to do. And for that reason, I'm taking the Cowboys because I think Dak is the best quarterback in that division. So I'm going with the quarterback. I'm going with my Cowboys. I don't see the Eagles winning 14 games. I just don't. So I'm going with the Cowboys. Go ahead, Britt. Go ahead. What you got?
For people on radio, she's raising her hand.
What since you want to pledge your allegiance to the Cowboys this year, did you not hear what your legend, wide receiver Michael Irvin said about Jalen Hurts and the Eagles? Did you not hear that?
I missed that.
He's a Cowboys and he said it himself. You better listen to him. Since y'all always want to listen to him, you better listen to him this year. What did he say? Do you know what he said? You know what he said?
I don't.
Oh, he said Jalen Hurts, he's going to be nice. He's going to have to develop, don't get me wrong, but he's going to turn into something special. Now, me as the Eagles fan, he got to prove it to me. Of course, I'm not as crazy as Michael Irvin. Let's be real. And he said the Eagles has the potential to do what? To become a dynasty. Again, I'm not as crazy as Michael Irvin, but this is what Michael Irvin said, not me. This is what he said. Yeah. So that's your guy, Jay. That's your guy.
That's your guy.
Yeah, I like Michael Irvin, I do, but I don't know how much stock I'm putting in to that evaluation. I like Jalen Hurts. I just don't think he's the guy to lead anyone to the promised land. But all right, guys, look, man, we're just about out of time. But let me get this last question off. Our teams. Britt is obviously an Eagles fan. I'm a new Cowboys fan. You see K Walk, if you're watching on YouTube, wearing the 49ers shirt. Which one of our teams will win the Super Bowl first? Cowboys haven't won it since 96, I believe. I think it's been since 95 for the 49ers. And the Eagles, they won it in 2018. So they're not going to win for another 35, 40 years. So which team is going to win the Super Bowl first? K-Walk, I'm going to start with you, man. Out of our teams, who will win the next Super Bowl?
I mean, you know what, man? I'm going to sound biased. And it's not even biased, man. I just think it's realistic if you look at these teams and the way that they're presently constructed. I mean, you got, obviously you got Trae Young. He's an unproven commodity right now. He's young, but he has the pieces around him. We talked earlier about Nick Bosa being on that defensive line. We talked about Debo and what he did for that offense last year. And then you got, upcoming Brandon Ayuk, I think, who's going to have a breakout season. Granted, as long as all these teams are playing, are staying healthy. This is going to be one of those teams that you're going to see they're right there in the hunt right now. I mean, they're one of the top teams to be favored, even with Trey Lance as the quarterback right now. They have a top 5 defense right now. From what I'm hearing from Trey Lance, I've been locked in with him. He's had his ups and downs with the offense, not the offense, but just performing, because anytime you go up against a top 5 defense, I don't care who you are, you're going to have your struggles. but he's had a lot of praise as well. I don't know. We don't know what Jalen Hurts. We don't know what Jalen Hurts is going to be. We mentioned the pieces around them. He's kind of in the same boat with Trey Lance. He really is. Both of these guys can have breakout seasons. If they do have breakout seasons, they both are potentially, they have the potential to go to the Super Bowl. With the Cowboys, I just don't see enough offense there, Jay. And you preach it. You always say there's no, you got to go with the superstars. There's no superstars on that offense other than Dak, other than Ezekiel Elliott, and he's sharing time. You got CeeDee Lamb. I don't think he's a superstar yet, but to use your point against you, there's no superstars there. So with all that being said, I think right now, the way everything is lined up, the 49ers have been tasting it. They've been there the last 2 out of 3 years, meaning they were in the Super Bowl 3 years ago. They were in the NFC Championship last year, 3 points away. I think the way that this team is built, the way these teams are hungry right now, I think the 49ers will win before the Cowboys and the Eagles. And it's going to sound biased, ladies and gentlemen. So be it. But if you look at it realistically, you'll see where I'm coming from.
It's a fair pick, K-Walk. It's definitely a fair pick. I just don't see them winning this year because I don't think they're going to win with Trey at quarterback in his first year as a starter. So I feel like if my Cowboys can jump in there now and steal one, they've got an opportunity. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys here. But Britne, I see the look of disgust on your face. But what say you?
I'm just trying to figure out, when did you become so delusional with these Cowboys? Like, I'm trying to give you a chance to just pick a different team. I'm telling you, I'm trying to save you the heartbreak at the end of the day. I want to help you, Jay. I want to help you. I'm trying to help you. No, look, as far as my Eagles, I would love to say my Eagles. I want to say my Eagles, but the big question mark, is the quarterback position. Everything else is basically in line. And right now we look very good on paper. We just got James Bradbury as the other cornerback along with Darius Slay. And that's like, whoa. Yeah. And then, we got a stacked defensive line. We're big in the trenches. Fletcher Cox, we got Jordan Davis, Javon Hargrave. On the ends, Brandon Graham came back. I know he tore his Achilles last year, but he's looking very explosive. It looks like he never even tore his Achilles, which is crazy to me at the age that he is. I think he's like 32, 33 years old right now. We still signed back Derek Barnett. We got the young guy in Josh Sweat. And then let's switch it. We got upgraded spots in our linebacker core. Safeties, we're big on the one kid, but I know they still going through some growing pains. As far as the offensive side, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, we have a top tier offensive line, Miles Sanders, Boston Scott. The question mark is Jalen Hurts. Can he take that next step that's needed? Cowboys, best, I keep saying it, best quarterback in the division right now, Dak Prescott. You still have Ezekiel Elliott. What can he show us? Can he get back to what he was a few years ago? I don't know. The offensive line took some hits, so we'll see. CeeDee Lamb, run a young rising star. Defense, Michael Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, and DeMarcus Lawrence. So you guys have your stars on all three levels of the defense, which is good. But the question mark there, Mike McCarthy. That's I'm not a huge fan of Mike McCarthy at all.
That's fair.
At all. It's just that the 49ers, the only question mark the 49ers really have is Trey Lance, to me, in my opinion. Defense is ridiculous, and I said this last year too. You literally made it as far as you did last year, primarily because of the defense. Good offensive young pieces. You got CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk. The running back, I can never remember his name, but he's young and talented, and I like him as well.
Elijah Mitchell.
Yes, Elijah Mitchell. Kyle Shanahan is going to show us what he going to pull out some tricks in that daggone playbook now. He's a talented head coach. So for me right now, I think it's the 49ers, but we got to see what Trey Lance does. If Trey Lance is what they expect, then yeah, I could see the 49ers being the first team. But I'm hoping it's the Eagles. Don't get it twisted.
Of course.
All right, Brig, I appreciate the fair assessment there and not just being a complete homer like I was. But all right, we need to get out of here, guys. Great show. Good stuff tonight. Before we go, you guys can't hear me?
Not on the radio. Now you can. Now we can.
Yeah. I can hear you on the radio now. The radio.
Yeah, you
Yes.
good. Yeah, you good.
Now I can.
You're good.
All right, we need to get out of here, guys. Great stuff.
Nope, lost you on the
Before we
radio.
go, tell everybody where they can find you on social media and what you're looking forward to this weekend.
What you got? Who you starting
Y'all
with?
can't hear me?
Oh, down we go. Okay. Go ahead,
Can't
Britt.
hear me?
So what was your question, Jay? I couldn't hear you on the radio.
You guys can't
Yeah,
hear me?
for social media. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you on this. We can hear you on YouTube, but we can't hear you on the radio.
Just go ahead and wrap it up if you can't hear me. Just go ahead and
Okay.
wrap it
All right,
up.
we're gonna wrap it up. So real quick, I'm gonna take over. Real quick. I know at the end of the show, first of all, this was a fun first episode of the NFL Takes Over, Football Takes Over, the shoot around. So this was amazing. So what we're gonna do, what we always do at the end of the show, we're just gonna say where you can find us, and what we're gonna do this weekend, what we're interested in doing this weekend. I guess I'll go first, matter of fact. So you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Britne Monique, Facebook, Britne Jones. And then what I'm going to do this weekend, sports. Know me, it's sports all day. Preseason starts. I'm going to see how the young guys are playing as far as the Eagles. I'm going to look out with the Cowboys. I got to watch the division as well. And because, K-Walk is a part of that, is our family, I got to see what's going on with the 49ers also. But K-Walk, what about you?
Yeah, I'm just saying, Bo, to start off with the social media, on Instagram, you can catch me at Kevin.Walker142, Twitter at KevinWalker142, TikTok at KevinWalker72, and Facebook, Kevin Walker. I'm riding the boat with you, Britt. I'm looking forward to all these preseason games. I'm going to be locked into so many of them. 49ers and Packers are starting in about 20 minutes. Definitely want to see what Trey Lance is going to look like tonight. I know he's only going to play in the first game, and I think the last game as well. Probably only a series or two, but I definitely want to see what type of offense Kyle Shanahan, designs for him. I want to see a lot of throwing from Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan tonight. We know what the running game is going to be like. For sure. Got some new pieces in the offensive line, so definitely want to see that. Also want to see Deshaun Watson, what he looks like, coming off of a 2-year, hiatus, if you will. Got to see what the Cowboys and the Eagles as well. The Eagles are playing the Jets, the local Jets right now. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be tuned into nothing but football. Yankees and Red Sox are playing right now as well. My Yankees are up 2-0 right now. So a lot of sports right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's the best time of the year. I know a lot of people save that for Christmas, but to me, this is the best time of the year.
What about you, Jay? I know we can hear you through the YouTube. So I can hear you through the radio.
If you guys can hear me, my mic must be an Eagles fan because it don't want me talking about the Cowboys tonight. But
you know what? I don't have a problem with that one. Let's mute it. Mute. Hit the mute button, K-Walk. Mute. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, same thing K-Walk said. I'm just looking forward to all the preseason football. Just going to kind of kick back and enjoy that. On social media, you can catch me at Jason Talk Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. So it should be a good weekend, guys. I'm glad football is back. Yes. Great football takeover show. We're going to do another one next week, so we'll have more time to talk about some of this stuff. But thank you, everyone, for listening to the Shoot Around. Check out our YouTube channel, the Shoot Around BJK. Subscribe, like our videos. We're trying to build that channel up. So check us out there as well. And we'll see you back here next Friday at 7 p.m.
Yes, fly, Eagles, fly.